Hey everybody, 4 o'clock showtime here on Saturday, the day after July 4. Today's July 5. I'm tired. I only got like 3 hours sleep last night. No particular reason, I was just up late and got up early. Funny how that is, I don't really want to go to sleep because there's a lot I want to do, like between watching TV or whether I'm on the phone at that hour, scrolling through stuff and monitoring the channel or whatnot. And then turns out that I like to get up early, like a kid on Christmas morning. So results in less sleep than I'd like. Let's put it that way. Hey, look who it is, Mikey Arugula. What's going on? I just did a video. I'm sure everybody knows, but if you didn't, I just did a video. Mikey Arugula and Gus Lopez. Gus Lopez was a special guest. He's known as an expert on Star Wars and has written books and has a museum and all this kind of stuff. I love you, man. I love you, man. Yeah, here I am. Let's see. Let's say hello to some other people here that are here. Okay, we got Uncle Paul's Beatles Pop Playhouse, who needs subscriptions. Always subscribers are always a good thing. I know, because I need subscribers too over at my new channel, Mayo's Retired Life. Okay, so I hope to catch you, Joe, from the pool. Oh, you watching me from the pool? Don't drown yourself watching me. Okay, so cheers. And Romoga, what's going on? Good afternoon to you, and also to Gary. And Day Tripper, yeah, what's going on? And let's just see who we got here. We got Joe F. Wishing you all the best with your new channel. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. I have been going through the videos. Well done. Yeah, there's a lot I want to talk about with that. Well, if anybody wants to discuss it, we'll discuss it. I started a new channel, and of course, I'm going to be putting the banner up, and I'll do that a little bit. A lot of work. I got my work cut out for me. 3 channels now. 3 channels. I got this channel, me, Mr. Mayo. Then I have my movie channel, Mr. Cinemayo. Like cinema, get it? And then I have the new channel, Mayo's Retired Life. I'm kind of like happy with it. It's the channel I'm happy with, and the title of it. It's pretty basic. It's a pretty basic channel title, but I don't know if I'm going to find something a little more fancy schmancy later on. But for now, that's what we got. Hello, Mike. What's going on? And George, what's going on? Another one. Subscribe, George, music for all 4 seasons. I always forget to tell everybody, subscribe to Robbie Detroit's vinyl, the Vinyl King, and the one with Elvis the King. Okay, that barbecue you were at sure looked good. Yeah, if you watch my retired channel, I'm going to put it up now. Okay, what the hell? I'm going to do that. Okay, here it is. That's the new channel down there, Mayo's Retired Life. It's not just about retirement. In other words, you don't have to be retired yourself to enjoy the channel. I have videos over there that are not going to be here, and that includes the rant videos. For anybody out there that enjoys the videos where I rant up a storm and I tell you about how I can't stand this, and this pissed me off, that's irritating, what's going on with this planet today, the world is falling apart. The rant videos will no longer be here. I'm talking about new videos. I'm in the process now of transferring existing rant videos over there, but I'm not going to be transferring all of them. I think I have 148 rant videos here. I'm not going to transfer them all over there, but certain choice ones that fit the retired life thing, I'm going to put over there. And but from this point on, for new videos, new rant videos are not going to be here. For the most part, they're going to be there. But then again, I'm kind of lying in a way when I say that. Because, hold on a minute. Where are we here? Okay, boom, there we go. Because it has to do with the subject matter. For example, there was a time when I made a rant video because I was looking to buy the Rolling Stones' new album, Hackney Diamonds, on a CD, and all the stores were sold out, or they didn't even. Not only, I don't think they were all sold out. The few they had were sold out, but basically they didn't stock enough. I don't think nobody really got them in. So as a result of that, I wound up playing Go Fish. So I was pissed off, and it was music related because it's about a CD. So I did the music, in other words, music related or Beatles related or something to do with being pissed off with entertainment, music, stuff like that. The rant videos will still be here. If I happen to be pissed off, something to do with going to the movies, something about like maybe a movie theater, I have a catastrophe in a movie theater or something to do with movies and films, that will be on Mr. Cinemayo. But for general rants about the world falling apart, that's on the lifestyle channel. Mayo's Retired Life. Maybe I'll call it Retired Lifestyle at one point. I'll change it. I'll figure it out. What sounds good. All right. So please subscribe over there and check that out. Okay. Let's see where we're at here. I'm sorry. I lost my place. Okay, Lila says Black Sabbath playing their last gig in UK tonight. I thought they played the last gig a while ago. I know they had I think a #1 album on some chart not too long ago, recent times. Hello, Christian. What's going on? Hello, James. Yes. I had a great 4th of July. The day couldn't have been better. If there's one day of the entire 365 days of the year in America that I want to be clear, sunny, and warm, I want it to be July 4. That's the one time. Yeah, and then you have the new Mikey Arugula video up there, Eat the Beatles. Hi, Henry. What's going on? How are you? Enjoying this metro weather. Yeah. Beautiful day today, too. Finally, this is it, man. If it could stay like this all year round here in the East, it would be great. Hello, Ricks. What's going on? Is the retirement channel basically just a vlog channel? No, it's not just a vlog channel. There'll be vlogs about retirement, I suppose, but if you look over there now, like I said, there's going to be rant videos. All the new rant videos will be over there. Occasionally a few here, but most of the ones dealing with the world and how crazy the planet is will be over there. It's about retirement, but it's also about just the world in general, things that are going on, things that you can grouse about if you're like me and you're kind of pissed with the world. Those kinds of things, and out and about videos. If I go out places and travel, go around. I'm really thinking about putting the videos with my friend Anthony over there. The Anthony videos may wind up over there, but I'm not sure right now. So what's the bottom line? The bottom line is everybody, like it or not, it's up to you. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. But if you like the content here and you like watching my crap, the thing you have to do is subscribe to all 3 channels. Not necessarily the movie channel. I mean, the movie channel, Mr. Cinemayo, that's pretty much just if you want movies and television material. But if you want to just see just about anything I do, whether it's going out and hanging out or whether it's here talking about Beatles and music, you need both channels. You need the retirement channel. I'll call it the lifestyle channel. It's more a lifestyle channel than a retirement channel. I put retirement in there because I want to get the retirees. I'm looking for another audience. Let's face it, that's the name of the game. I'm looking to also get more audience. Maybe bring in people that are older, people that are retired and dealing with things. But it's not just for old people. That's why you, Henry, in your early 20s, you could still go over there and you could still find material. Playhouse is in the retirement summer. Hello, Gloria. Thank you for saying hello from Ohio. Cheers. What's the longest you've gone without listening to the Beatles? 6 months, maybe, something like that. Maybe. But, individual albums. There were actual albums I haven't played in like a year or two. You know what I mean? Since I sat down and played Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, it's been a number of years. No, actually, it hasn't been a number of years. I take that back. On one of my car rides, the last under a year I played it. But before that, it had been a few years. Is the Jaws wines to be purchased in liquor stores? In the video that I did on the new channel talking about the 4th of July celebration here, There's a very interesting little bit there with Jaws, but I think I know what you're talking about in general. There is some kind of Jaws booze that's out there, right? I've seen the really cool shark bottle, a glass bottle made into the image of a shark face. Holds whiskey, I think. I don't know. Whatever it is. And yes, please, good reminder, Gary. I need people to help with things where I can't remember everything. Yeah, I don't always remember to say that. Please hit the likes. I appreciate that. Hello, Matchstick Man. Good to see you here. It's been a while. I've well, I've seen you, but not as much. I'm used to you in the mornings when we used to do the morning shows. You know. Yeah. Rest in peace to Michael Madsen. If you look at my movie channel, I did a R.I.P. video. Michael Madsen, who was in a lot of Quentin Tarantino movies, among others. I liked the guy. I liked him. And he was always enjoyable whenever I saw him pop up in a movie. Yeah, he passed away. In the video that I made about him, the obituary of him, I said that I didn't even know he was sick, and that I don't think anybody knew it. But just 2 months ago, he was at a horror movie convention that I almost went to. It's not just horror movies, it's movies in general. I almost went there, and he was one of the guests, and I would have gotten his autograph. But I saw these clips. You can see them on YouTube. Look up Michael Madsen at Chiller Theater from April, only from last April. And you'll see him in a wheelchair, unfortunately, and he looks like he's not in great shape. So he wasn't doing well, I don't think, to begin with. But please, Henry, remind me of this when I do the movie show, the next movie show that I do. I may forget, so remind me if I don't remember. You know what I mean? Hi, Chris, and yes, indeed, Mr. Blonde. Yes, Michael Madsen was Mr. Blonde in the movie Reservoir Dogs. Your stream choked up just now. I don't know exactly what that means. I was listening to Stuck in the Middle. Yeah, Stuck in the Middle with you. Yeah, that's a tough one to listen to. You know, everybody knows what I mean if you've seen Reservoir Dogs. If you don't want to never be able to hear that song, was it Steelers Wheel? What's the name of the group? If you never want to never be able to hear that song again, don't see the movie if you want to hear a song again. In the good old summertime, in the good old summertime. And believe me, if I didn't hear somebody weaseling around upstairs, I'd be singing louder than that. Yeah. Steelers Wheel. I sometimes get people confused being retired or pensioners. Not everybody has a pension. I'm lucky to have a pension. It's tiny pension, but it's a pension. And I'm not complaining. Well, I sort of am complaining, but there's lots of people who don't have any pension. Zero, zilch. So, Reservoir Dogs has a great soundtrack in general. Yes, indeed. Your channels are never crap. Thank you, Gary. I'll send your check as soon as I get off here. But thanks. Appreciate that. Yes, when people ask me, what do you do? I say, I'm retired. Then I tell them what I used to do. Great movie. I've seen it 20 times or more. All right. So that's enough of this banner for a little while anyway. All right. Do I have recurring dreams or nightmares? I have recurring dreams a lot. Some of them are about working at the old job. Nightmares, I don't know if I call them outright nightmares, but I do have some unpleasant dreams. Dreams of being in distress. You know, things like I've heard people have these common dreams, like not being able to locate my car, forgetting where I parked my car, or something like that. Stress dreams like that. Bizarre, really, because I thought once I retired from work, I wouldn't have stress dreams or stress in general too much. But that's not true. Okay, let's keep going here. Hateful Eight is one of my favorite Tarantino films. Madsen is in that one too. You know what's amazing about it? As much as I love Quentin Tarantino in general, I still haven't seen Hateful Eight, and I do have Hateful Eight. I do have the movie here. I have it on Blu-ray, but I've never sat down and watched it yet. Hi, Ronald. I like the new channel. It's a different side of Mayo. Thank you. I like that we don't get to hear about on the other channels. Hope to hear more videos soon. Thank you. Stick with me on the channel over there, because with the new channel, there'll be new content coming. As I have some ideas already. I'm jotting down ideas, so I always have something that I can think of to make. But also, I'm going to be taking some familiar stuff and bringing it over there. So you may see some familiar videos pop up, like the rant videos and some out and about videos, things you might have seen already. I've heard a review that the new Megan 2 is quite sanitized and more comic book than the sinister first one. Reviewer said he can smell a sanitized franchise on the way. Well, that's enough for me not to see it, because I heard a lot about that too. I heard that the Megan 2.0 is pretty bad in the sense that it's kind of like a comic book, or that it's not really horror, and it's getting a little bit silly. So I think I'm going to skip on it. Jaws really is a perfect film. Dialogue, characters, they make the film entertaining just watching them talk. Exactly, Henry. Exactly. It's mostly the interaction between the three principal characters, and the shark just happens to be there. That's what I feel about it. I was listening to Sgt. Pepper in its entirety recently. I have UK vinyl original, but also 87 UK CD. This CD sounds really good, better than you might think. Mm-hmm. I still skip 64 on Pepper when I'm 64. No. When I'm 64 is part of that album. And I don't believe in skipping tracks. You know what I mean? At least when it comes to Beatles and solo Beatles, I don't really skip tracks. That's just me. Other people skip. Michael Madsen, only 67, which is young in today's standards. It is. It damn well is. It's only 4 years away from me. I can't believe it. Henry, believe me, when I'm telling you, if you live to be, and I hope everything works out all right, when you live to be in your 60s, you're going to say, where the hell did the time go? I was just 20. I was just 30. What the hell happened? And you're also going to say that you don't feel like you're older, really, in some ways. What have you seen from AI that you actually quite like about it? I wish I had an answer for that one. I don't like AI in general, but I guess some of the thumbnails, I say thumbnails. I have 2 or 3, I don't know, thumbnails up that somebody else generated for me. Peter did it for me, and he made some cartoony looking images of myself and Anthony, for example, or me, or Don from the record store, the homeless guy. And it was fun. It rendered some good cartoon images, but you can have cartoons. We always had cartoons for many decades without AI at all. So it's not like you need AI in order to do that. If you had your choice, which would it be, Pepper or the White Album on a desert island? Definitely the White Album for me too. There's a lot of good Lennon stuff. There's not, on there, but more because of the quantity. There's a lot more songs on there. It's a double album. What film do you think you've seen the most? I can name some. I think I've seen the 1931 Frankenstein with Boris Karloff the most. I also think I've seen the original Planet of the Apes from 1968 the most. Well, I think those are the 2 main ones. I feel like I've seen more than any other. Jaws, I've seen Jaws a lot. Charles, Beatley Tone's going to be at the Chicago Fest. Yeah, I know, and I really like Beatley Tone, and I really want to see him. Would like to meet him and hang out, but I can't go. I'm not going to the Beatle Fest in Chicago. And by the looks of things, they have not announced the usual one in the New Jersey area for next March. So we're wondering, and there's nothing official here yet, but we're wondering if it's over. Because they usually have an announcement by now. Hello, Dino. What's going on? Doing good. There was a low-budget movie called Nightmares. Have you ever seen it? I might have. It's a common title, Chris. It's a common title. Might be something that I've seen, but different one. One of the most common nightmares is falling to your death, and once you hit the ground, you wake up sweating. Don't even tell me about that. I don't want to. I don't want to start having such a nightmare. Uh, um, you seem to have tightened your belt when it comes to spending on vinyl, comics, and CDs. Is this on purpose, or just that nothing has caught your eye? Well, a little bit of both. If there's something that I really want, by God, I'm going to get it. Well, first of all, I went on a comic book craze a couple of months ago. That's done. I will not be going on a comic book craze. I came to my senses. I mean, it's just personally too late in life now to start going berserk and collecting tons of comics. But I mean, again, you got to watch what you say here, because then all of a sudden one day you see a comic book video. Hey, I bought some comic books. And you get some wise guys and gals out there saying, "I thought you said you weren't buying comic books." I'm not going to buy tons of them, but I'll buy the occasional comic. And the same thing for vinyl and CD. I'm still going to buy the occasional vinyl and CD, but so some of it is because nothing's really caught my eye, but a big chunk of it is because I am indeed making it on purpose to cut down and cut back and stop. I mean, when I say stop, I don't mean 100%, but I mean 85, 90% or better. It's just where I'm at in life right now. I've had enough, and I can't be buying stuff that's just going to languish for the most part. I mean, some things you buy for collectible pieces just because they're going to kind of languish. You're not going to really use them much. You know what I mean? Anyway, do you think the horror genre is doing really well right now? Yes, I do. It's not very often when I have positive things to say about the film industry, but I do think that horror for the last, I don't know, 5 or more years now has been pretty damn good. I think horror is doing very well. Hey, Penny Lane, what's going on? You're in my ears. You're in my eyes. What's going on? How are you? Well, I love the Omega Man. You sure you don't know that? It's one of my all-time personal favorite movies. Is it one of the all-time greatest movies ever made? Hell no. But it's one of those movies that is in my top 5 personal favorite movies, nostalgic favorites of all time. It's a lot of fun, that movie. I'm watching here from here, Kenya, but I'm Australian. Okay, thanks for watching in Kenya. There it is. Thank you. I just subscribed to your new channel, and that's a fact. I want everybody to try to do that. Now, as I say, I'll have to keep reminding people, because you may not remember, or you may just be somebody just joining us, that there's going to be content on there that's not going to be elsewhere. And it's not just going to be retirement only. So don't think, well, if all he's going to do is talk about being retired, what do I care? I'm 30 years old. I don't give a shit about retirement. But it's not just about that. It's going to be all kinds of out and about adventures and talking about life in general. Anything. Don't think of it as a retirement channel. Think of it as talking about life in general. That's kind of what that is. When or what would you say relaxes you the most? Well, I can't talk about it because it'd be kind of dirty, but that's one thing. But also, I enjoy doing this. This kind of helps me unwind a little bit. And then I also like to just kick back and, watch TV, watch a movie that I want. And sometimes I get too relaxed. Sometimes I get so relaxed that I wind up falling asleep instead of watching the show. That happens. Something you just said about being in your 60s, because I'm 69. That's my favorite number, by the way, day trip. As I do wonder what happened to my 20s and 30s, going to be 70 in January. Oh, my God. God bless you. I'm going to be 70 in 7 years. And, what can you say? What's the saying? Time and tide wait for no man. Hi, Curtis. Do you like prog rock? I don't think so. I mean, I never really understood exactly what it was, but I do not like Yes, and I hear that Yes is prog rock. I like some Genesis. I hear they're prog rock. So Do I miss 2020? Hell no, not. Are you kidding me? No way. That's the worst year we've had. That is the worst year of all time, as far as, well, I don't know about all time, because now people are going to say, what about 1940? What, happened there, and the Depression in 1929. But I'm saying in my lifetime, that's the worst year I've experienced. No, there's no nostalgia for me. There's no nostalgia whatsoever. Again, you're young. Did you turn 22 yet? I forget. You're 21 or 22, and you don't have a lot to look back on. So to you, 2020 might very well seem good. So do you hold an item and think, now, do I really need this? Oh, yeah, Lila. Oh, yeah. It happens more and more and more. It's happening more frequently than not. Stuff that ordinarily I would have bought without a second's notice, without even thinking about it, without even a second thought. No longer. Absolutely not. Because you think about it, you think like a Beatles magazine, and you always go, do I need this Beatles magazine? I've got 971 other Beatles magazines. They're in a box in a closet, and that's where they've been for decades. It's getting like that. But you see, something like, I always say this when the topic comes up, something like this Jaws sign here. I can enjoy this. I'm looking at it every day. I see it. All these items here. I can enjoy them, the autographs, the posters, But when you have stuff like on the shelves, you have to make it a point to watch these things, to watch the movie this way, watch the movies, read the books and everything. I when it comes to books, I love reference books. Sometimes I have to check something. Maybe there's like a movie book I have, and I have to check the release dates or want to find out some information, and I grab a book off the shelf. How was the fireworks last night? I'm not a big fireworks fan. We were sitting here after I came back from the 4th of July celebration. I don't like the ones that just sound like big bombs. M80s, they call them M80s. Boom, boom. I'm like, who needs that crap? I'm jumping out of my skin. I don't need that crap. I like the pretty ones. I like the ones that you see explode in the sky, like that. That's nice. We put, I'll tie this into music a little bit here. Last night we put on, I think, the Macy's Day fireworks, and there was some music on there. You know who I liked? I'm going to say the name wrong. Is it Trisha Yarwood? She's older, and she showed them how to sing. I mean, my girlfriend, we were watching, we hate so much new music, and we're like, what crap was on there? I also like Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz was on there, and I liked him. Lenny Kravitz, Trisha Yarwood. But, and we saw some fireworks. The fireworks were a joke because they play lousy music over the fireworks, Believe it or not, Chris, I've never seen Slumber Party Massacre, even though I've seen all those kinds of massacre films and those camping films and all that slasher stuff. What's the best song on the John Lennon Plastic Ono Band album? Depends on my mood. I like the song Look at Me quite a bit. That's one of my favorite songs. I like the song Hold On quite a bit. Those are my favorite songs on there. I like Working Class Hero too. I like the whole album, but those are my favorites right now. I had thousands of comic books, but my mother tossed them out when I was young. Mad Magazine and Cracked, a lot of Rolling Stone and Cream too. I got so many Rolling Stone issues in the closet. I've got Cream magazines in there. I've got stuff I bought when I was 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. What am I doing with it? Most people get to be older, 50s, 60s, and they start realizing they don't need all this stuff. Now, a lot of people listening to me say, I can't believe he's saying this. I told him this for years. I don't regret anything I've done, really. I don't regret the videos I've made. I've had a good time sharing them with you. But records, man, when I look back, I've been doing this channel since 2012. And I was buying records in 2012 by all kinds of artists, just anything. I remember buying, believe it or not, I remember buying this when I first got into record collecting again. I bought the Singing Nun album. I mean, I was buying every kind of thing. It was just fun to collect, fun to buy, fun to come up here and say, look what I found today. Here's a pile of records. Look what I got. And if you want to look back, 13 years, you'll see a lot of videos that I made where I'm having a ball doing just that. So I have them here for posterity. I have them preserved here for life. I'll always have those videos of me when I was really into collecting and I was really into just buying all kinds of music. And now I'm done with that. And I'm still keeping compact discs to listen to them. Let's see. I was thinking they would have ended Beatlefest at 50 and have a giant celebration, but they didn't. It would seem sad if it just fades away. We'll see. We don't know yet, Gary. We don't know yet. Why do you think John mentioned Dylan in the song "God"? I don't believe in Zimmerman. Well, he responded to that. He said, "I don't believe in Zimmerman." They asked him in the Rolling Stone interview, and he said because Dylan is bullshit. Zimmerman is his name. Something like that. That's what he said. Some of the versions, the demo had him saying, "I don't believe in Dylan," but I don't know. He didn't like any kind of phoniness or anything like that anymore, or pretense. Do you have any memories of finding out? Hello, Wes, by the way, that George passed away? None at all. None at all. Because I've said this, I think, in the past. With John, it was a shock. Everybody who was around then and remembers it knows where they were and what they were doing when John was murdered. With George, unfortunately, we knew he was ill. We knew he was going to die. And I just remember seeing it on television, the news, George Harrison's passed away, but I don't remember. It was expected, and it wasn't a shock. It's still an awful thing to lose one of the Beatles, George, and so young, 58 years old. But it wasn't as it didn't hit my mind as much, First Beatlefest was 1974. First time they did that. Oh, the Omega Man is on TCM right now. Oh, too bad. That's one of those things. Like if I was inside right now in the living room, just going through channel surfing, and I just happened to see Omega Man was on, even though I've got it on Blu-ray, I'd probably watch it. 69. Oops. Joe, man, you look great. Don't be shy. Playhouse only 62. Yeah. Joe, you're doing well for 62. 63. And act vibrant. And there's people in their 30s and 40s with gray hair and look older than you. Well, you got to like touch it up. I touch it up. It's no secret. I mean, I'm not totally gray. But I make no secret. I mean, I have plenty of videos where, it's lighter. Hello, Bitsong. Have you seen Funny Games? No. The remake of Funny Games is actually better than the original. Tim Roth is in it. He's always great. Tim Roth is one of the saving graces of that horrible, in my opinion, Tim Burton Planet of the Apes reboot. Thank God for Tim Roth in that. Okay. Ronald says, I'm just a couple years younger than you, Joe, and I understand your perspective on collecting as you get older. I am much more selective now. Absolutely. And, I'll probably do more videos as time goes on about that. I might do a series about cutting back. And a lot of people watching this might be like, oh, no, Joe, say it ain't so. But I'm always going to be collecting stuff. I'm always going to be collecting. I'm a collector. It's in my blood. But let me tell you, it's gotten a lot less, and it will continue to get a lot less. It just doesn't make sense anymore to get so much stuff. But to some people who do not collect, to them, anybody who collects anything, even if it's minuscule or just a little bit, to these people, it's collecting a lot. Any collecting is too much to them. So, a sparkler type of guy. I love holding those little sparklers. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. No. I have several editions of the Siskel and Ebert movie books. Do you collect those? No, I don't. But I watched a lot of Siskel and Ebert. It's been an incredible weekend. I opened the Playhouse because of my retirement, and everyone has been so supportive. You were an inspiration, my friend. Thank you for the kind words. Uncle Paul, folks, thank you so much. Yes, indeed. I learned this. My girlfriend told me that she is Garth Brooks' wife. Yes. Worst Bond movie, Quantum of Solace. Quantum of Solace. John Alelo, how you doing? One of my favorite commenters. Hello. Ringo's birthday Monday. Yes, I have a video already made. I already have a video made for Ringo's 85th birthday, and I'll be dropping that on his birthday. Or maybe some hours before his birthday, something like that. The thing is, though, although I recorded it, I still have to edit things in it. And sometimes the editing software that I have, or hardware, whatever, software, whatever, goes berserk. I put Die Another Day down there, but it's not dead last for me. Okay, remind me, Henry. 23, Henry. Sean Connery, James Bond DVD box looks good, but the pictures on the cover look terrible. Did you think that was the Flying Nun? No, I knew what the Singing Nun was. Dominique, or whatever it was. I know the song. I have the Flying Nun album in 45 with picture sleeve. Yeah, nothing wrong with. See, that's the thing. See, that's the kind of thing I would go to a store and I would see if it was there. I would see the album of the Flying Nun. I would hold it in my hand, especially if it was in nice condition, really sharp and clean. And I'd say, "Oh, this is what a like nostalgic piece of history. It'd be so nice to have this." Sometimes I will collect things like that. I'm still going to collect something because that's in my blood, but. We go through this every time, Henry. I know a lot of movie talk. Yes, Sean Connery is hands down the best Bond. Well, I agree too. I seen the 50th anniversary release of the Jaws soundtrack on vinyl. Was buying it until I see it was $60. Shocked. I passed. Yeah, I'm not getting that. I'll tell you though, I did send away for the Jaws popcorn bucket. It's a big thing out there. It's by Alamo Draft House. I don't know if anybody watching this knows about it. AMC Theaters or Alamo Draft House. And it's the shark, the famous picture here of the shark with its mouth open. You can put popcorn in there. I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to have it for decoration. One day, whenever I get around to cleaning this place a little bit, I'll put the Jaws thing where you can see it. Definitely. But the only problem is I ordered it, and I think the one I got is a knockoff. I don't think it's the official Alamo Draft House one. I think it's a cheap version. I think. Ringo's birthday. It's the day before mine. I may not be able to remember that. There's a lot of things on my plate, Robbie. So excuse me in advance if I don't remember. I like all of John Lennon Plasticono Band, but God is probably my favorite because it's so soul revealing. See, the thing about it is, it's a very powerful song. It really hits you at the core, but it's not much of a song. That's the whole reason it's not my favorite. It just doesn't. I don't believe in this. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in this and that. And there's not much going on in it, melody wise or construction wise. Though I love all the stuff. I think Billy Preston plays on that. I do like all the piano stuff at the beginning. I mean, I like the intro and the outro. It's all the listing in the middle. George's Brainwash was a great last album for him. Yeah, but what always pissed me off is George was so damn lazy about putting stuff out in his lifetime, I mean, his last real album of his own material was Cloud 9 way back in 87. Then he died in 2001. Now, he did the Traveling Wilburys albums. But, he should have put stuff up. I say it. It's easy for me to say it was George's life at the time. He can do what he wants. I'm not his boss. But to wait till after he died for, Jeff Lynne and his son Danny to have to work at it. It's unfortunate. You don't know what you missed. You don't know what you missed. You couldn't pay me enough. You know, I say this all the time. You couldn't pay me enough to be in my 20s today. No way. In fact, I would be happy to be in my 70s today. That's how much I wish I had earlier years under my belt. The best rant video you've done was the eclipse last year when you were looking at your car window for the darkness. Thanks. See, that's the kind of thing I mean, going back to rant videos. Once again, for people who don't know, please subscribe to my new channel below, Mayo's Retired Life, because the rant videos will be moving over there for the most part. When I make new rant videos, they'll be over there. And something like that, like if there's an eclipse and I'm reacting to the eclipse, waiting for darkness and nothing happened, waste of time. That's the kind of thing that would go on that channel. It's not just a retirement channel. It's a lifestyle of what's going on in life in general. Okay. I gotta go backwards again. Oh, brother. Yeah, see, now Robbie says he's collecting even more since he's retired. Collecting more. George was a tough dude. The fact that he survived like 20-something stab wounds while he was already ill. Yeah, wow, that was a horrible thing. Horrible. I purge my vinyl and books. Anything that goes in a drawer has to go. With vinyl, once it makes its way to the back of the queue, it goes too. I'm going to be getting rid of a lot of books, folks, including Beatle books. A lot of books, a lot of magazines, all my Beatle magazines. I'm going to get rid of a lot of them. And a lot of vinyl too, although not so many Beatle-related vinyl, but everybody else, a lot of other. I'm really, really going to be nipping it in the bud, cutting down. They always say you never see a heart towing a U-Haul when you die. Okay, Joe, I know you're on a weight loss journey, but I think it's odd how being overweight looks bad on a young person, but extra weight when you're older makes you look younger. Look at William Shatner. Well, that's the thing. That is one thing I am a little concerned about as I lose some weight. I mean, I've got 100 pounds more to go, or 90 to 100 more to go, and I want to lose. And when I do, I wonder what the differences are going to be. I wonder if you're right about that. I don't know. Hello, Darren Gamble. I will not sing today. I'm sorry. A lot of times, I've been telling you that a lot. No singing. No way. It's just the people upstairs and stuff like that. If I was here in my own place and nobody could hear me in the house or outside the house, I'll sing. What's bad is these YouTube channels make you catch the bug to collect and then they quit on you. Oh, don't feel so bad. Don't feel so bad. I worry about you a lot, Robbie, because I don't want you to ever give up on me. I'm still going to be making videos about buying some stuff. Okay, even though I try to be selective in what I collect now, I couldn't help myself. Amazon had a copy of the red and blue vinyl box set with a mini Hofner bass. I had to order it, coming Tuesday. Look, I'm going to buy the Ringo. I don't know when it's coming. It should be coming this month, I think, right? The Ringo Rama 2003 album is going to be for its first and only time on vinyl. And I will get that because I collect Beatles solo vinyl. One of the most underrated Bond movies to me is The Man with the Golden Gun. Alice Cooper wrote a song for it, which was rejected, so he put it on his next album, Muscle of Love. Man with the Golden Gun is one of the weakest James Bond movies. I would agree with the majority, but it's still enjoyable. It's not one of the worst. Now you're retired. I would have thought you would visit cinemas more. Well, there's nothing to see, especially afternoon shows. Yeah. It is. That's what I used to think. I used to think, well, one day when I was younger, I used to think, oh man, one day I'll be retired and I'll be at the movies every day, or at least 2 or 3 times a week. Hell no, there's nothing I want to see. Although right now I do want to see the movie 28 Years Later. No, yeah, 28 Years Later, horror, the third movie in a horror trilogy. But I don't know if it's still out there or not, you know. Diamonds Are Forever, it doesn't make sense. It's one of those Bond movies, it's all convoluted, it's all mixed up. I enjoy it anyway, but I can't stand those villains. I mean, what is it, Mr. Kid, Mr. Winton, Mr. Kid, or something like that? Can't stand those two guys. You can't devote one day to organizing and going through your stuff. Oh, sure I can. Why not? I can also spend a day going through some of my people on this channel and getting rid of them being wise asses, Mr. Blood Vessel. Would you like to try your luck? Get rid of them. No, but seriously, well, I don't know what you mean by that. What do you mean one day going over? What are you talking about? I do that. There's so much stuff I have to do. I got 3 channels to run. I'm always out buying stuff. I'm helping my girlfriend driving her to and from work. I'm walking in the mall for an hour a day. I mean, what are you talking about? And I occasionally do go through. I don't know what you mean by that. Where did I give you any indication that I'm not going through my stuff? I don't know what you're talking about. Nah, live and let die. I've never been big on that one either, honestly. Thunderball is the worst. Well, Thunderball is something about it. It's too long. It's too long. Or something. Hello, Scott. What's going on? We got DJ Vinyl Vertigo here in the house. Yeah, but see, this is what's Henry. I'm glad you're back, but you say the same thing every time, and it gets rough. It gets very rough, man. I don't think Moore was that good of a Bond. He didn't have the essence of Bond. We talk about this on the movie show. We talk about this on the movie show every single time. Okay? I like Roger Moore because I grew up with Roger Moore. As time went on, I realized Connery was the man. But I still like Roger Moore. And Supertramp, I only like a handful of songs by Supertramp. That's it. I'm recently in purge mode. Impossible to listen to everything leisurely. It's impossible. Now, and when you're 20 years old, 30 years old, you just automatically figure, well, I've got 50 or 60 years left, 65, 70 years left. I have plenty of time. When you get to be in your 60s, you realize I don't have that much time. And you can see 20 years back how little you've done with the stuff. And, you've had stuff and you haven't done much with it the last 20, and you've only got about 20, whatever it is, 20 to 30, 25. You don't know what it is, and it's like, why waste your time? Just get more and more and more. That's the point that I'm at. That's the point that I'm at. That's it. That's the time I'd like to be born. Absolutely. As I always say, as long as I don't get drafted. The only thing about being born around that time is you don't want to get drafted into the army. But if you can get out of that, generally speaking, that's the time I want to be born. I was born in 1962. I'm 63 now. I wouldn't mind being 73 today if that meant that I could have had 1952 to 62. I'd trade those 10 years. Do you know what I mean? Now, like Bruce Spicer, like he has some great books. I have most of them. Most of his books I have, not every single one, but most of them, and I rarely look at them. I mean, there's times when if I really want to find out, I don't know. Let me look at the VJ label. I want to know some information about the VJ label. Maybe once every 10 years, I want to know about the VJ label. I'll go and pull his book down about the VJ stuff, and I'll read about it. I'll learn all about it. He's a great author. He's a great historian. He has all the stuff down. However, how many more once in 10 years do I have left? That's what happens. It's difficult to talk about this because people say, what the hell are you getting so, morbid about talking about this? It's just reality and facing the facts. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's funny. I don't. That's another. Thank you. That's another. keep wanting to. Let me write that down. I keep looking for different topics, and that's one that I wanted to do. I want to make a video. Why don't I like Andy Griffith? Why don't I like that show? In other words, it has everything about it that I kind of like in old shows. So why don't I really love the Andy Griffith show? I like Don Knotts a lot. I like Andy Griffith. I like Ron Howard. What the hell did I watch the show? All right. Did she direct? Did Sofia Coppola direct Lost in Translation? I think she did. I don't remember. Favorite Spielberg movie besides Jaws? Wow, I should have an answer for that, shouldn't I? Help me out here. I don't care about Close Encounters. I don't care about E.T. I actually like his War of the Worlds. I like War of the Worlds. Wow, you got me. I gotta go back, folks. I've heard of this movie, right? I have. Any classic movie you would love to see on the giant screen? A lot of them. There's a lot of movies. We talked about. Well, it's not classic. The Omega Man is not a classic, but I would like to see that back on the big screen. I haven't seen that on the big screen since I was 9 years old when I first saw it in the movie theater. Yeah, any of the old horror movies, a lot of the Frankenstein, Dracula movies, or classic monsters, those films. Anything. The problem is, though, when you say classic, it's all they show are the classic ones. They only find them bankable. Those are the only movies that they think is worth bringing back to cinemas. I'm tired of the classic, grade A movies. How about some of the grade X movies, YZ? How about some of the lower tier stuff? Why is it always got to be? It's the same thing all the time. They bring back The Wizard of Oz. They bring back, I don't know, Citizen Kane. They bring back The Sound of Music. Why don't you bring up some B movies and things? I forgot. Hi, Eric. I forgot you were going to be on here live at this time. I was just watching a video, Eat the Beatles. Yes, indeed. Thank you. Have you ever been to an auction to bid on an item from eBay? When I was younger, I did. I used to go on eBay in the early 2000s, but I stopped. I actually have a friend going on eBay for me. If there's anything that I want, I ask him to get it, and he gets it for me. Then I give him the cash. There you go. Yeah. I like both of those movies, Goldfinger and Casino Royale. The Daniel Craig Casino Royale, that is, right? I think a teenager today doesn't have the patience to listen to an album in full. Well, that's the problem with them. It is pathetic. They can't even watch videos that are over like a minute. They got to watch shorts. They got to go scroll, short. People's attention spans in general are down. And it's not just kids. Let's not just blame teenagers or young people. It's also people my age. They just become dumb to the point where they don't really want to watch anything with any length to it. And of course, I admit, sometimes it's just a matter of not having enough time. Maybe you don't have the time. If you don't have the time, if you got to go to work or you're busy and you don't have a half an hour, fine. But I tend to gravitate to videos that are 15 minutes and under. But it depends on the topic. If I want to watch like a Ringo interview or something, I'll watch an interview that's 45 minutes. It depends what it is. Yes, indeed. Same age. Yeah. These kids today don't know much about 8-track tapes, drive-in movies, and phone booths, or soda fountains either. I have not seen a single one of the Mission Impossible movies. Not a one. Not a fan of Tom Cruise. Me either, really. The only two movies I really liked his was Rain Man. I liked Tom Cruise in Rain Man. I also liked Tom Cruise in the vampire movie Interview with the Vampire. Draft time for me was a lottery. I was 188 out of 365, and the Vietnam War ended, and they slashed the military. Oh yeah, you don't want to getting involved in that if you can help it. I guess. Then again, I have nothing but respect for anybody that was brave enough to go. Definitely. I sure hope Mark Lewison will be able to finish volumes 2 and 3 of his Beatles trilogy. He's not getting any younger. If you're listening, Mr. Lewison, it's beyond ridiculous now. It really is. I mean, I believe volume 1 was 2013. I could be wrong. You're talking about 12 years since the last book. I mean, really. So when you were born, the Beatles had already some gigging experience under their belts. Yeah. 62 was a great year. It was the year that the Beatles recorded their first real song, single, Love Me Do, in 62. Also, 62 was the first James Bond film, Dr. No, with Sean Connery. There you go. Schindler's List fan we got here. There you go. The writing was pretty safe during a safe time, leaving your door unlocked in the neighborhood. Yeah. Yep. Hello, Yorkie girl. How are you? There you go. A couple more Spielberg films here. Believe it or not, I think Duel is overrated. Never seen Duel. I love Hitchcock on a big screen. That's a good one. I got to see Psycho and the Birds on a big screen. Did I see anything else? I feel like there was another one I saw. I don't know if it wasn't based on Duel, but of course there was Steven Spielberg noticed there were some similarities between the two. You know, he often talks about that. But Jaws was based on the novel by Peter Benchley. Yeah, the Andy Griffith Show never clicked with me either. Let us know if you put your finger on it. The individual actors are fine, but something just does not grab me. I don't get it. Okay, hey Doc. Doc says Boo Boo wants to go see the new Smurfs movie coming out. I told him to pound salt. That's your friend Boo Boo. Yeah, that's like when my significant other asked me to go see Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. Well, it was only fair. After all, she sat with me to see all 5 Planet of the Apes movies revived when we first got together. So I saw Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. Oy. Alan, hello. I got tickets for the midnight opening of Superman. The trailer is amazing. The trailer does nothing for me. I'm sorry. I hate it. I hate that rubbery looking diving suit that he's wearing instead of wearing a cloth Superman suit. I hate that he just, I don't know, all the CGI. And I can't stand there's a bald guy who I guess is supposed to be Lex Luthor, who looks like he's about like 20 years old or something. I mean, look, sorry, I'm not interested. Oh, yeah. That's what she said. I occasionally buy something on eBay, but I rarely bid on anything. I just make a purchase. I found a DVD of The Who at Isle of Wight, 1970, for $5. There you go. I'm definitely going to see Superman this Friday. Can't wait. Well, I'll tell you, if I was 22 years old, I'd probably be there too. I had that period where I saw the new movies back then, and you know. Oh yeah, that I like that movie too. Born on the 4th of July wasn't bad. The only thing is, I thought Tom Cruise was too young. I think he's a little, when he's supposed to be in his 40s, he looks too young. I have not yet seen Eyes Wide Shut. Tropic Thunder sucked for me. Hated it. Thought it sucked. But again, that was your opinion, and you're entitled to it. I'm just giving you mine. I do like some songs by Sinatra. I do. I don't love Sinatra. Schindler's List in the cinema. You weren't allowed to take food or drink here in the UK. Duel is good. It's an odd film, but that's part of what makes it interesting. I hope all you people discussing movies will join me on Monday nights. Well, maybe it's then again, it's I don't know if you can always make it the time wise. It could be too late for some people. The hours might not work. Don't forget, I got another channel. Let's put that up there too. You know it already. My second channel is called Mr. Cinemayo. I have 3 channels now, but don't forget Mr. Cinemayo. There it is. Yeah, that's the movie channel. And we do a movie live stream. Monday, different times, sometimes late, sometimes early. Let's see. Oh, yeah, all of a sudden. Chauncey Phillips. Hello, Chauncey Phillips. What's going on? Boy, are you planning on attending the Chicago Fest next month? No, I'm not, unfortunately. I was talking about that earlier. I'm not going. It's too much money. I can't afford it. And I'm really sad that I can't go because Beatley Tone is going. And I want to say hi to him. I never met him before. Hitchcock's favorite movie was Rear Window. I didn't know that was his favorite. His favorite? His personal favorite? Should Cold Turkey have been a Beatles song? I'm glad it wasn't. John Lennon asked the Beatles to record it. The Beatles said no, or Paul and the others said no, they didn't want it. They didn't agree. So he said, screw it, I'll just record it on my own. Screw you, a lot of you. And he went ahead and did it, and Eric Clapton was on. I think it was a better, more intense record. I'm glad it was a solo record because the Beatles, as much as I love the Beatles, I don't think they could have put that kind of sound, really heavy avant-garde sound. Can you binge watch episode after episode in one sitting? And what was it if you did? I occasionally I do. Right now we're doing it with the Brady Bunch. My girlfriend and I are watching the Brady Bunch just about every night. 2 episodes a night, 2 or 3, something like that. You can't do it too much or you get sick of it. Yeah, Gene Hackman played Lex Luthor, but he wasn't 20 years old. And somebody's going to tell me whoever the actor is was playing Lex Luthor in the new Superman movie is probably like 40 or something, but you don't look it from what I saw. What is the one song that makes you cry when you hear it? The song Honey by Bobby Goldsboro. Absolutely. I've said that. When I listen to the song Honey, it makes me tear up. I don't hear it very often. And Boo Boo must be a Smurf fanatic. I can wait as long as it takes. I'll never see a Springsteen biopic, personally. I remember watching the Beatles on Ed Sullivan. I was in 6th grade. The next day, my teacher was absent, and we had a substitute. The first hour, all she talked about and asked us about was the Beatles. There you go. Midnight Express. Wasn't that the one with Charles Grodin and Robert De Niro? I saw it, but I don't remember much about it. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. 100% right. Superman and Batman are done. Done. And that stupid looking Fantastic Four nonsense, I'm not going to see that either. Well, Steven Spielberg didn't direct I Want to Hold Your Hand, the movie. He had something to do with it. Producer, was he? Something to do with it. Eyes Wide Shut was really cool, but not because of Cruise. The ensemble cast made it good. I recently bought that cheap. I mean, it's a Stanley Kubrick film, so I'm willing to give it a try. Hello, what's going on? How you doing, 50 Thunderer? How are you? Just got off the train. Sorry I'm late. Hey, I'm glad anybody could make it here at all. I appreciate it. Your movie chats are good. I always like Tim and Tom. Well, yeah, Tim and Tom, and sometimes, one time we had our friend Aaron Badgley join us. You never know what the combination is going to be. The guy playing Lex Luthor in the new Superman is 35. Well, don't forget, 35 is the new 25. So the guy's too young. Or he comes off as young. Here in the UK, we have to chat movies with you now. We are all in bed dreaming when you do your live movie chats. That's right. That's what I said. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. You got a good point. Hey, I'm always happy to chat movies here. Don't get me wrong. Just that Henry, if you're listening, just try not to talk about the same thing all the time. That's all. Hey, what's up, Mazzy? There's Mazzy. Damn, I won't meet Mayo. That's right. You gotta cry. No, and I gotta tell you, with all apologies, because I forgot that you have said that, or people told me you were going to attend. I would have liked to see Norman Maslov as well. So I'm sorry I'm not going to see Mazzy as well. Have you ever had a play on a real drum kit? Not a real drum kit, but a toy one I have. Speaking of Mazzy, he was played the drums. Hitchcock's favorite movie of his own was Shadow of a Doubt, actually. And Chauncey got to meet the Maz Man. Nicholas Holt is 35. You mean the Lex Luthor? the baby Lex Luthor? What do you think it would be like if we all had to throw our mobile phones away? Well, that's a situation where I really believe this. Again, I've said this every now and then. I believe that the internet and social media and these phones really are the beginning of the end. I really believe that the problems we have are because of them. I think it's ruined our world immensely. However, it's also made it possible for me to talk with you here. I mean, that's like when they always pick on John Lennon. They say the man sang "Imagine No Possessions." Why doesn't he just get rid of his possessions? Well, that's a stupid thing. So I'm saying imagine no cell phones. Imagine no internet. As long as we're going to have the internet, much like possessions, I will make the best of it and I will enjoy it the best I can. However, I think it would be better for the whole world if we never got them. Does that make sense? We indulge too much, and it's good. It's good, but at the same time, it's got a nasty downside to it that's really hurting us. And these phones, I remember I used to go around, I used to look at people and say, what the hell are they doing with these things? These people can never stay off their phones. They're in the car, they're at a traffic light, they're looking at them. They're in a restaurant with family, everybody's got the phone looking at them. Well, in 2017, I was a little late to the party. I got mine. And I got to tell you, I'm always on the phone. I'm on the phone. I leave the house. I'm one of those people, even if I'm going to the supermarket to pick up some groceries, I got to go back in the house. I forgot my phone. I need the phone. But, we got into a point now in my defense and other people's defense where there's no cell phone, pay phones, pay telephones. You need this if you get in an accident, if you fall in a ditch, in a hole somewhere, and you have your phone, you can call for help. Help, I fell in a ditch. I'm over, assuming you get a signal. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't see how we survive without phones now. So I see the yay and the nay of it. But I do think overall, that's when we started to fall. I think the internet and the very beginning of the 21st century was the beginning of the end. And that's how I feel. And that's it. That's also what my new channel is going to be about, Anyway. Yeah, that song Landslide, I love Landslide, but it does make me teary. Oh yeah, okay, Midnight Run. I don't know what Midnight. Thank you for clearing that up. That's Midnight Run. Yeah, okay. Cold Turkey, definitely a Lennon and Ono track. Glad it wasn't a Beatles track. Me too. Yeah, Vincent's a good song. That's a good song. Yeah, Oliver Stone movie. Okay, I got it mixed up. What insect or reptile do you not like the look of, even scared of? I don't like any insect. I hate all insects. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a ladybug. It could be an ant. I don't like any insects. Reptiles, I don't know. I don't know if I have. I'm scared of crocodiles and alligators, I guess. But it's funny. I got another story about a hornet or a wasp. I'm going to call it a hornet. The other morning, I was sitting in my living room, and I heard bzz, bzz, I heard this buzzing, and I look over, and here's this huge freaking hornet. A lot of people know that when I go to that classroom place, sometimes there's some wasps that come in the window. Must be cracks in there somewhere. Anyway, this thing was flying about. It was like on the window, and I had the blinds where you draw the blinds, horizontal blinds. I took a can of Raid, which the Raid was only for ants. It was really ant killer, ant roach killer. I sprayed the whole window. Shh, that thing. That thing started getting crazy and going crazy. You should have saw me, man. I freak out. And I closed the blinds really cool. And I waited till the damn thing fell down on the windowsill. And then I was afraid to open the blinds a crack to see him struggling. Because I wanted to get a paper towel. And if any of you go to kill bugs and you, instead of using one paper towel, I use like 10, like really thick. Like, I got it like that. I got it. With the Brady Bunch, I think I prefer the episodes when they're older. Yes. I agree with you 1,000%. You got to remember, when I talk about the Brady Bunch, I fully admit it's a silly show. I was going to say ridiculous. It's too wholesome for people, so they don't like it. And I think that is exactly what we need again, wholesome shows like that. And I think that people say, oh, back then in the 1970s, the world wasn't really like that. That no family was like that. First of all, there were families I knew like that. First of all, that's the first thing. But second of all, even if a lot of families weren't as wholesome as the Brady Bunch, it made you aspire. People wanted to be that. They wish their life, their home life was like that. It's a nice show. And I if I hadn't grown up with it, I wouldn't be watching it. But to get to the point here, Ronald, I agree with you. I like the episodes when they're older. Yes. When they're in high school, when they have a more complicated problem, I like it better. But I'm finding out that, oddly enough, the first season was still enjoyable. I'm out to season 2 now out of 5. And yes, like you, I have no need whatsoever for Cousin Oliver. I hate that kid. Okay, yes to that. Do you like films more than music? Somebody asked me that recently. If you had to pick one of the two, movies or music, what would you pick? And you know how much I love the Beatles. I picked the films. Yeah. I like them both pretty equally, but if I had to pick one, if somebody said pick one, I probably would say, give me the movies. Honestly. Okay. Apparently Live 8 in its entirety is to be shown here in UK, the 40th anniversary. Wow. Why don't they wait to the 50th? DJ Rogers song, it makes me cry. You already seen Nicholas Hoult, aka Lex Luthor, in a movie before. He was in the new Nosferatu, the Eggers version. He was the husband of the girl Orlok wants. Oh, no wonder I don't care for him. I hated the new Nosferatu movie. It was all style, no substance. It didn't last. I hated the movie. I don't remember any of the characters. They didn't make any impression on me, except possibly, is it Willem Dafoe? Was he the vampire hunter? It's like everything today, or 90% of the things today, in one ear and out the other. So he made no impression on me whatsoever. There are people born that don't know what it's like without any internet or mobile phones. Precisely. Yeah, well, this is what we're talking about. Yes, if we all had to throw our mobile phones away, I wouldn't be on this chat now. Exactly. Like I said, you know. And I see Norman says totally sense. I agree, but I don't know what that's at this stage. Sometimes, the comments come up later after a few things were talked about. So hopefully you mean it makes sense what I was saying about hopefully technology and social media and all that. Is that what it is, Norman? Because hopefully we can find common ground there. I mean, it's important. It helps. It's like anything else, you have something and it's good, but sometimes is it worth it? The bad is so bad. Is it worth the good? I know you said you don't play, but did you ever try to learn a musical instrument? I tried to play guitar when I was 20 years old. A friend of mine played guitar, and he taught me how to. He was trying to get me through the beginning of "For Me to You." If there's anything that you want, and I had to just like change. If there's anything that you want, I had to like change the chords or whatever. And it took me. I could not get it. I could not get it. I was frustrated. And then even when I could change the chord fast enough, no matter how hard I thought I was pressing the strings, it was never enough. And I said, you know what? Screw this. I never went back. That's okay. I'm good at making YouTube videos. So everybody's good at something. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. Both De Niro and Jodie Foster nominated for Taxi Driver. I still think it's rude if someone honestly gets their phone out over a dinner table or we're out for a meal. Get off your phone. I'm talking to you. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm finding myself guilty of that too. And I dare admit, I'm one of those people. I just spoke earlier about people. I used to get annoyed when they would pull out the phone when they were at a red light. That's what I do when I'm at a red traffic light. I'm right away. I'm like, because in my defense, here's how I rationalize it. I have the YouTube channel, and I always want to keep up with the comments. That's why I'm always looking at comments. Like I'm over here. I've been on this thing for almost an hour and a half here, right? So for an hour and a half, I have not checked my comments. So if you wait too long, if I wait too long, I'm going to be overrun, and then I got to go back. I want to make sure I keep up. Otherwise, it'll overwhelm me. You know, if you go, you can't like go on vacation for a week and not check your comments. Otherwise, you'll have 100 zillion comments. You see what I mean? So I find myself doing things too. But the other thing I do is I'm always cognizant of the light changing. So I'm not one of those idiots when the light turns green. I'm like still there. And you gotta go beep beep, move your ass. The light is green. You know, I always make sure I know up there it's getting green. You know, time to get off. I think All Things Must Pass would be a better album without the third Jam record. Well, I've never heard the Jam. Everybody says the live Jam is nothing, so I never played it. I don't need it. I went this far without it. That's another video I got to make that I keep promising to make. Obscure solo Beatle albums. Stuff like, you know, the Fireman albums, things like that. I got to listen to those. All right. They never should have released the internet and cell phones. Families in the community went to shit afterwards. Amen. Like I say, there's good in everything too, but was it worth it? Was it really worth it? I don't know about that. Yeah. You've probably responded to this question, but what do you think about the Beatle kids recording together? It's okay, but it's just one song, right? Just one song on Zach Starkey's from Zach Starkey's group or whatever album, whatever it is. It's okay as long as they don't go around making it like a Beatles band or something like that. Whatever, I'll let them do what they want, but I don't have much thought on it. It's just one song, really. Yeah, she loves Harry Potter movies, absolutely. I don't care for Harry Potter. You know, I mean, most of the problem I have with Harry Potter is the look of the films. They're all very bluish gray, dull, dreary, rainy looking. I just don't like the looks of the movies, for one thing. Oh yeah. That's a good point. I don't want to say this because I'll see one. Centipedes are the worst. I agree. Should Child of Nature have been put on the White Album and Mother Nature's Son been left off? No. I think it worked out well the way it was. Mother Nature's Song is a beautiful song. And What did I say that right? Mother Nature's Son is a beautiful song. Yeah. And also, Child of Nature by Lennon turned into Jealous Guy. I'll go along with that once. I never had to pick up a dead rat, but I don't think. But dead mice, yeah. Andy Williams was wholesome. Yeah, well, you see, Frasier, I don't know if I call Frasier wholesome. I call it kind of cerebral, actually. During the holidays, you have to check your phone at the door if you want to stay for the festivities. A Hard Day's Night is a better film, but is the UK version of Help a better soundtrack? No, I like the American soundtrack of Help. I'm very alone in that. I don't know why people don't get that. Of course, if I just want to hear Beatles music, the UK Help is better because one side is from the film Help, the other side are other songs, non-movie film songs. However, I'm a movie fan. I'm a movie collector. I like to have soundtracks with the incidental instrumental music, the actual soundtrack, not just the Beatles songs, but other stuff too. So I love the US Help album. Well, she's a little young. What's the weakest song on Pepper? For me, it's got to be Within You Without You, but I like Within You Without You. And, I say weakest. Of course, as I've gotten older, I've come to appreciate it. And it is a philosophical song. It has words to think about. It makes you think. It's not just drivel. So maybe it's not the weakest song on the album, Good Morning could be the weakest. When CGI kicked in, I checked out of the movies. Good for you. Wonder if Tom Magnotti's listening. I hope they're smart enough never to do a Jaws remake. They've already made enough shark films, period, There's something in here. Looks like a little gnat or something. God damn it. Anyway, there you go. Like I said, Willem Dafoe was the only thing to watch in that. Thank you. I agree. Hollywood is going bye-bye when AI kicks in. Everything's going bye-bye. All you young people out there like Henry, all you kids out there, you're so screwed, but not as screwed as the baby carriages that you see when they're wheeling baby carriages. I look at that kid and I go, that kid's screwed. I did not like the guy that played Count Orlok. Max Schreck is a great Orlok from the silent film. The silent Orlok is the best Orlok. And I also prefer Klaus Kinski from the 1979 Werner Herzog version. I don't think he was fantastic. I thought he was forgettable. I thought you couldn't get a good look at him. He couldn't really. You enjoy your new movies. Enjoy them. Enjoy. When I was enjoying new movies when I was a youth, older people said they sucked too. So they were wrong. But anyway, still watching your show. But BBC Two is having an ELO night of concerts. Don't tell everybody that. They'll check out of here. No, but seriously, I'm not going to be here much longer. I like ELO. I don't love ELO. I don't know everything by ELO, but I like enough of their big songs. Which is your personal favorite of the Beatles anthology CDs? I like Anthology 2 the best. I don't know exactly which disc I prefer, but I know Anthology 2 is my favorite, followed by Anthology 1, and then last is Anthology 3. I'd have to think about this one. Each member of the Beatles as an animal. I'd have to think about that. You could use AI to answer your comments. Well, that's another thing I'll let you people know. That's pathetic. There's a lot of that going on now. I don't know if you know, but when people leave comments on videos and you go to respond, there's two or three things already. Like, oh, gee, that's really great. I'm glad you enjoyed the video. Thank you. Like there's 3 options already made. I don't have to type anything in. Now, I don't believe in doing that. I want my own feelings to come. But if the AI happens to match what I want to say and it's pre-typed already, I'll do it. Like if somebody says, Joe, you have a new channel on, and I really like the new channel. Thanks so much for doing it. And one of the AI things says, "Oh, thanks. I'm glad you appreciate it." I'll click it because that's what I was going to write. But 99% of the time, I will not use it. What past comment on any of your videos always sticks in your memory? Maybe it made you laugh or stop and think. The ones that make the most impression on me are when people write. I'm going to say Gary. If Gary's listening, Gary was one of them that made a nice comment. Anytime somebody says a comment that it's somehow they had a good time, they enjoyed it, they were having a rough time, and they watched a video and it made them happy, or in some way inspired them or something. That's the ones I like. Sherry Carter, what's up? When you have Tim and Tom on screen, do you use Zoom? No, I always use what I'm using right now, which is StreamYard. It's the same thing. Should Wild Honey Pie have been left off the album? No, absolutely. The beautiful thing about the White Album is it has all interesting little bits and pieces. It's versatile. It's got all kinds of different styles on there. It's got some great stuff. It's got some throwaway little nuggets like that. As Paul McCartney said, the greatest comment he ever said, it's great, it's sold, it's the Bloody Beatles White Album. Shut up. I mean that with affection. Imagine Lennon and Elvis coming back today and seeing the technology of recording, gigging, staging of a concert. Mind-blowing, not to mention the ticket prices. Well, that's why I'm glad. That's why, I'm past concerts, I'm done. That's for the young people. You people out there, 18 years old, 1920s, you want to see concerts, you're screwed, man. There's a shirt that goes around. I may be old, but I got to see the best bands, and you got to see them when they were on their peak. Even if there are people still doing it, like Bob Dylan, he's not in his peak anymore. Paul McCartney's not in his peak anymore, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, I like Mother Nature's Son much better than Child of Nature. Well, in all fairness, Child of Nature wasn't a finished song. It was just a demo. It was just being worked on. It wasn't finished. I agree that the White Album is perfect as it is. That's the reason that it's interesting. Hello, Noah. What's up? The sky. Ceiling. No. Thanks for saying hi. I like some songs by Supertramp, and the Logical Song is one of the songs I do like by them. There you go. You could train AI to be a guest on your show and be the fall guy. John sometimes called Paul's songs granny music, but those songs are sometimes more radio friendly. They help the group grow their audience. True. I understand both sides of it. I love Paul's music, even the granny music. But at the same time, when I'm in a certain mood, I feel like John. I'm like, it's such silly, but I do like them. I like them. This whole live stream, if you watch all of it, I've been defending When I'm 64. When I'm 64 is a fine song. Beautiful. They predict AI will take 50% of all entry-level jobs in the next 5 years. Enjoy it, you younger people. I don't have to work anymore. I'm done working. Yeah, well, Gary Coleman had some problems, definitely. That's an interesting question. I think that Maxwell's Silver Hammer maybe could have been a successful single. I gotta admit, I gotta say that, even though it's not my favorite song. There's no such movie called The Revenge of Dracula with Lugosi. You might be thinking of Tonight on Svengoolie. There's a movie called The Return of the Vampire. I don't know if that's what you mean, but The Return of the Vampire, he's not playing Dracula. He's just playing another vampire. I have never been to Liverpool. People often ask me, and I've never been. I've always said I wanted to go, and someday I still hope to go. Are you going to Radio City Ringo's birthday celebration? I didn't know there was one there, but the answer is no. No, I have not heard Rip Off. Is that the song that everybody was talking about with the Beatle kids on there? Zach Starkey's song? Only you mentioned Taylor Swift recently. Hello, Kevin. Loving your Monster Mash podcast over on Mr. Cinema. On average, are they once a month? Kevin, I'm so glad you took notice of it. Thank you so much. I want to do more of them. Please don't give up on the show. Please subscribe. Keep an eye open. I want to try to do them more often. Once a month, once or twice a month would be good. There's a new guy, Aaron Badgley, the last one that I did. I probably saw that show, and I'm hoping that I'm going to keep it going. But I've got a lot to do. I have 3 channels now, and I'm going to try to do another show over there. And I know you noticed you got a Jason mask. I'm a big fan of the Friday the 13th series, and I found out Aaron also likes the Friday the 13th series, so maybe we can do a show just on the Friday the 13th series. But I'll keep that in mind. Thank you so much. Will we eventually get a Magical Mystery Tour era box covering late 67? I always felt that if we get anything like that, they should also include Yellow Submarine, because Magical Mystery Tour, there's not enough songs. There's not enough songs on Yellow Submarine either. It's important to embrace the musical stars of 50s, 60s, 70s that are still with us. Frightening how many have left us. Yeah, and it's only going to get worse from here. This is it now, folks. Thank God that Ringo's still here, and he's going to be 85 in a couple of days. Okay, Paul had fun with his music. I always thought Harrison and Lennon were too preachy, but I understand if they were more political. Yeah, like I said, but I appreciate everything every Beatle has to offer. Every Beatle had something to offer, and they're all different. That's what made them so great. Yes, indeed. Paul wrote when I'm 64 when he was a teenager. We're getting some good comments here, but I have to cut this short now. But before I go, I do want to mention something, so don't go right away. Hang out. I think I've played with the Beatles, the UK with the Beatles. I think I played that the most. Okay. All right. I'm going to take a break here, folks. I want you to do me a favor. Some of you know about this already. I talked about it in a post that I did. A comment. I'm going to put the banner up one more time. As you know, I just started a channel. It's called Mayo's Retired Life. Don't be scared. It's not all about retirement. It's really about lifestyle and living in general, living life and having a good time, enjoying your years and all that. But I wanted to put retired in the title because I wanted retirees to maybe find it. I want to try to get more audience there too. So please subscribe. But before I go, I want to tell you these live stream discussions, I have to get some traffic over there. So I'm going to be doing live stream discussions over on the other channel. It's very important. At first I thought that I might stop doing the live stream here on me and Mr. Mayo, and instead I would do it just over there. But I don't think I'm going to do that just yet. That's why I ask you to please subscribe to all my channels, or at the very least, Mayo's Retired Life and also me and Mr. Mayo, because you never know what's going to be at any of these and where I decide to put stuff, as the mood strikes me. So there's going to be live streams here, and there's going to be live streams over there. So if you like live streams, be both places. It doesn't mean that if you do a live stream and you're in the comments and you want to discuss things, you have to only discuss retirement or aging or lifestyles. Or it's still pretty much free for all, discussion-wise. But I just want to try. I have to do that because I want to try to get some traffic. Let's face it. When you're starting a channel, a lot of you people, if anybody's watching me, anybody who's tried to do a channel, it's hard to start it out. No matter how hard you try, you're just not getting those subscribers. You're not getting as many views as you need. I need views. I want to thank anybody listening to me right now who was so kind as to subscribe to the Mayo's Retired Life channel. I want to thank you so much for doing that. I've gotten quite a few subscribers already. And I'm looking to hit 1,000 right now to start with. And I hope you'll go over there. So all I'm asking you is if you subscribe, if you hit the notification bell, you'll get alerted and you'll see advertisements when it says I'm going to go live over there as well as here. So if you like live streams and you want to be part of it, you want to watch me babble, you want to join in and babble yourself, if you want to do that, please subscribe to the other channel as well, because you never know when I'm going to go live anywhere. And that's it for this week. And stay in touch, comment, watch. Much appreciated. Love each and every one of you. And we will do this again very soon. Cheers.